Kate. Welcome to Co-Parenting Narcissist 101. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. And thank you guys so much for subscribing, like, and share. All right, guys. Today we're going to talk about when your child is the scapegoat child. When your child is a scapegoat child, you guys already know that in the narcissistic household, most often than not, there is, and there's more than one child, there is a scapegoat and the golden child. This is what the narcissist does to further create a division among the children, of course, and get supply when the kids go back and forth against each other, when one is being shown a favoritism over the other. So this is something that intentionally do to divide the children in the house. So let's say you've already, this is post separation. You guys are out, you're divorced, you have the kids, and you're co-parenting or trying to co-parent. Usually, a scapegoat child is the child that most of the time have their own opinion. Earlier on they have their own personality shining through. They're usually the ones that are first to ask any questions. When something happens, they're the ones that have to ask the questions or point something out. They're usually very sure of themselves. Like earlier on, as young as they are, they're usually very sure. So when things happen, they don't really kind of most of the time go with the flow. They will ask questions. They'll probably be the ones that keep asking questions. And of course, there's nothing wrong with that. That is just their personality. So it's always usually those kids like that end up being a scapegoat, because what ends up happening is that obviously they don't really buy into whatever the narcissist is doing. So they'll be the ones that usually ask questions first. And this is, I'm looking at kids around this between, the kids that are talking already, of course. So you're looking in that age all the way up to, 3 or 4, the way up to, 9, 10 or whatever, But for younger kids, the kids that haven't, that start having less than 3 probably or 4, this is where you come in, okay? This is where you come in that the narcissists, you already should know by now that they view the kids that you have with them as an extension of you. They are part of you, so if the child has any close relationship to you or is close to you, in the case of younger kids, most of the time they might be attached to one parent or the other. It doesn't really have to be the mother, like, we think it would be. It might be the father. Some I've seen that, the kids, they really do get positive vibes from people, and they know which side to lean to more. So if that's what's going on, chances are that the kids that are younger like that, they transfer whatever they feel for you to that child. And this is, if they have other kids with a new supply or previous supply, they'll transfer whatever it is that they're feeling at the moment to you. This is like maybe you guys have an argument about child support or have whatever, something. And they decide not to pick the baby up, or they decide not to pick the toddler up, or decide not to add the toddler to the whatever it is that they plan with the other kids. They don't show up to pick them up anymore. So this, like I said, this is where you come in. So whatever whatever they feel for you is extended to the kids. So what do you do? What exactly do you do in a situation where the narcissist has obviously shown that the kids you have with you are the scapegoat, or the scapegoat child, and the golden child might be with the new supply or the previous supply? One thing you got to do is to, first of all, remove all expectation, like you do with the narcissist. Remove every expectation you have of having normal for a normal parent should feel towards the child, because you have to always remember this, that a person that did you wrong, a person that saw everything they have, every good quality you have, and decided to use you as a tool, would obviously not going to value anything that is attached to you. And if you separated, or you left, or they discarded you, of course, it never really matters. The kids are an extension. They're part of you. And most often than not, will be treated the same way. So once you have that, you have no expectation, rather, that they're not going to do anything right. They're going to do right by the kids, because they didn't do right by you. and you are part of the kids, and the kids are part of you, and you are attached to the kids, obviously that something transfers to the children, because anything they feel towards you will be shifted to the kids, because the kids are just a means of getting supply, as we should have, by now. This is just, they only need to transact with the children, because that's exactly what they do with people. These are transactions. They need to only have any kind of business transaction with you if they see, okay, what is going to be my return on this? Let me invest in this, because let me see how much return. So that is how much, how they look at the kids, is how much investment do I need to put in this, because I am expecting a return. Unlike normal, emotionally healthy people, normal parents. So if you remove all expectation, you realize that obviously this is, you're not expecting anything to happen. Matter of fact, if they do anything out of their way, which of course anything they do is an agenda, then that's what, it will be a surprise to you, Now for your child, what you need to do, of course, is to make sure you give the child the love that they need. You make sure that they have everything that they need. They should not feel left out. So what I mean by this is, which this has happened to me as well, where the narcissist will call the kids here and tell them about what so and so they did over there with the other kid, and blah 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 blah. This might happen, and they might even have already planned to come get your own child, but decide not to come get the baby or to get the little kid. But for my own kids that are young, older, so he called and he would tell them what happened. That obviously something that happened that they weren't part of. He decided not for them to be a part of it. So when this happens, and your kids are intentionally, removed from whatever plan that they have, because now they are not the favorite child. You should have your own plans. You should make your own plans with your child. At no point should you allow the kid to feel left out. If you can help it. At no point should you allow the kid to feel left out. So, like I said, if they call and they, talk about all these plans they supposedly have, if your kids are older, you have your own plans with your children. And if, let's say, they call and they talk about, they bought stuff for the other kids, or the something that they got for the other children or whatever, which of course they don't have any for your kids. You have to, either you remind your kids of what they actually have, or if this is something that they need, that you get it for your kids as well. This is not you trying to one up anything. This is you trying to make sure that your kid feels that, the whole idea here is that your child does not feel that they're missing out on anything. That the kid does not feel that they are missing out. So that is not you trying to compete with the narcissist, because obviously they're not doing anything for your child. But if they intentionally try to make your kids feel some type of way, because they've already taken out how they feel for you on the child by making your children the scapegoat, then you make sure that the kids at no point in time feel that they are missing out, because the narcissist did not do whatever it is he or she is doing with the golden child or the golden children, whichever one that they have with the other supplies. So if you are to do this, then whatever plan, the whole plan, or the joy, or whatever it is, or happiness that the narcissist wanted to get with scapegoating your kids, in quote, or your child, falls flat. It falls flat, because your child will come out knowing that they won't even feel, they won't even feel that they are being that they're the scapegoat. Why? Because dad got it, because mom got it. They don't feel it. And that is your target, is that whatever it is, they have planned to make your kids feel left out, feel some type of way, they are missing out, that you do not allow that to happen. They make plans, tell your kids about it, have your own plans, so that your child's focus at any point in time is centered on what, you guys are doing, or what they have going on, that they do not feel left out at all. Just like, which is what not the narcissist, that's not what they plan, because their focus is on you trying to get something, they, do something to you, but, take it out on the children, which, like children are always collateral damage with these people. It doesn't matter. So the summary here, guys, is that while the narcissist you should actually expect that, especially if you guys are going back and forth on child support, going back and forth on custody. If you have an argument, or if the child is close to you, or if the child is a baby and they are kind of close, they prefer to stay with you than with the narcissist. Yes, they would, and they have other children with another supply. Yes, your child will be turned into a scapegoat. They'll be the one that's left out of plans. They'll be the ones that they don't really come to pick up. They'll be the ones that they ghost every now and then. Why? Because the target is you, and since the baby or the child, the children are an extension of you, yes, this is all to get at you. But of course, it's, through the children. So you make sure your target here is that the children never feel like they're missing out. And if you succeed in this, it means that the children won't even know that they're being scapegoat. They won't even know, because you fill that void. You are there to fill that void. And of course, that means the plan the narcissist had, which was to make them feel some type of way, falls flat. All right, guys, get out of your mind and everything else will fall into place. Take care.